welcome back to another video. If you're new here, you're very welcome. My name's Donna. I'm a mum of two boys, Archie and Henry, aged 7 and 11, and we live with my husband in the south of England in the UK. I share mainly foodie content on my channel, so I'd share a grocery haul and a meals of the week or a 5 for £25 video every week. And I basically share ideas, recipes, baking ideas, things like that to try and feed your family well but on a relatively low budget. And I get lots of comments saying that I do really well for the money on our grocery shop and the meals and stuff that I cook for my family for the money that we spend. So I thought today I would share with you my top 5 tips for keeping your grocery bill down and saving some money in 2024. I know a lot of people are struggling with, you know, the cost of living and inflation, and the price of food is going up and up and up. So I thought it would be handy to share some tips and tricks that will hopefully save your family some money on their groceries as well. So if that's your kind of thing, make sure you hit the subscribe button, grab a pen and paper, and let's get having a look at my top 5 tips. Okay, so number 1 is to shop online. I know a lot of people find Aldi and Lidl are a bit cheaper, and obviously you can't order online with those. But you could check online and see what offers they've got on, what's on their Super 6, the leaflets at Lidl, and see if there's any offers that grab your fancy before you go. But I find it easier to shop online, and I usually shop at Sainsbury's or Tesco. And I find that actually now that they do the club card and the Nectar deals, they're just as economical as the other supermarkets as well. And I do find their stuff is really good quality. I have shopped at Aldi in the past, and I don't know if it's just our local one, but I haven't been overly impressed with the quality of the meat and the fruit and veg. So I do like Tesco's and Sainsbury's. And I find it easy to shop online because you can obviously keep a running total of your grocery spend, which is really helpful. And I find if I get over my budget, I just remove things, and then I think, oh, I'll do without that, or I'll get a cheaper version, or, you know, and I tend to buy supermarket own versions of most things anyway, because they are a lot cheaper, and I honestly don't really find any difference. I'm quite lucky the boys aren't picky with brands really. The only thing we do like is like Cadbury's chocolate and things like that, which we will get as a treat. But generally like cereals, ketchups, tins, things like that, we just buy the supermarket own version. So that saves us some money. And also I find, make sure you check the price per kilogram if you're buying meat. You can buy a bigger pack of chicken breasts for a lot cheaper than buying the small like diced chicken or whatever. And it takes like 2 minutes to just, you know, dice your own chicken up. So buy bigger packs. You can always freeze it if you're not going to use it all in that week, and it will just be less that you have to buy the following week. So I always make sure I check the price per kilogram. Obviously shop the deals, so if there's Nectar prices or club card prices and something is cheaper than you would normally buy, just get the one that's on offer. You know, as long as it's something your family's going to enjoy. There's no point obviously buying things on offer that they're not going to want to eat. That's just a complete waste of money. But yeah, so shop the deals, check the prices per kilogram, and check kind of the supermarket own prices. If you go into the supermarket, the cheaper items are always down the bottom, not at your eye level. It's a, you know, a marketing thing. So make sure you obviously look down and get the value or the cheaper items. And obviously if there's something you don't like, you can obviously get your branded one. But we find that that really saves us some money. Number 2 is to make sure you meal plan, and not only your dinners, but it's really handy as well just to maybe make a quick note of kind of the breakfast and the lunches that you might have, because it's very easy not to plan those and then you run out of bread or milk or whatever, and you pop to get something. And if you're anything like me, if you pop to get a pint of milk or a loaf of bread, you will come out with chocolate and cakes and whatever else is on offer. So I tend to try and forward plan and make sure we've got enough. Get an extra loaf of bread, stick it in the freezer, buy maybe 6 pints of milk instead of 4 so you don't run out, and it stops you popping. You could buy long life milk if you want to keep it in the cupboard. just so that you don't run out and you don't buy those extra things. Also, I find it really handy with dinners to use the same or similar ingredients. So you might buy a big pack of mince and use that for a chilli and a spaghetti bolognese. Buy a big pack of chicken and you could use it for, you know, hunter's chicken, fajitas, stir fry, and that will do you a few dinners for 1 pack of meat. And equally, you know, you can use less meat and bulk those out with veg. So stir fry is a great one. You could use a couple of chicken breasts for 4 of you, chuck in loads of veggies, noodles and whatever and bulk it out. Chilli, you can add loads of mixed beans or lentils in, and they obviously are protein as well, so you're getting you know, you're still getting your protein but you're bulking it out for cheaper. So there's ways to meal plan where you can kind of be a bit clever with your meat and things that you're buying and stretch those a bit further. And for lunches, I find it really great. You could cook a bit more for dinner and keep leftovers, or just plan in some budget friendly ones, you know, a tin of like vegetable soup and some granary bread, or, you know, tuna salad. There's loads of healthy options that you can make that don't cost the earth. So yeah, a little bit of forward planning. And also I often meal plan in reverse, and I'll check my fridge and my freezer and my cupboards. And if I had some veg and like a sausage casserole sachet, I would think, oh, I'll just get some sausages and some chopped tomatoes and that's a dinner. So use up what you've got before you go out and buy. It's really handy just to make a quick note of everything you've got. And then especially if you're shopping online, you can just add to your basket as you need things or as you run out of things, and then you're kind of not forgetting things or overbuying. So yeah, planning is key. Number 3, and this is a bit of a controversial one, and one that I think a lot of people don't want to do, and they can't understand why they're spending loads on their shopping, and that is to buy less of the snacks and the fizzy drinks and the smoothies and all of those things, because they really are what cost the money. You know, you can buy a carton of fresh juice for like £1. If you buy a pack of 4 smoothies, which is still a litre, you know, 4 250ml cartons, they're probably £2.75. So be savvy with what you're buying. And you know, the innocent smoothies are mainly pressed fruit. If you look at the cheaper smoothies, like the Happy Monkey ones and things like that, they're actually mainly juice. So you're buying the convenience of having them in individual cartons, which obviously is not great for the environment anyway. You're chucking away all those cartons. But also you're kind of wasting your money basically. You could just get some juice. Also with snacks, if your children like crisps and whatever, you could often buy the bigger packs of crisps and just portion them out into a little bowl or a little pot for them. And that's a lot cheaper than buying like all the individual packs, you know, like of the little mini biscuits or the crisps and whatever. You can portion them out. My boys love the cheap salted tortilla chips, just a handful of those in a pot or a bowl. And actually they're a lot better for you because they're just the corn and salt. They're not, there's not much else added. You know, big bags of popcorn are really easy to portion out. So just be a bit savvy with what you're buying. And equally, I mean, we don't really drink fizzy drinks. Occasionally in the summer we might have one. You know, like I'd buy, if I was having a gin, I'd obviously buy some tonic, or if Yanis was having rum, he'd buy a couple of cans of Coke. But we don't sit and drink fizzy drinks. And I'm always quite shocked actually at how much they cost, you know, for these big crates of fizzy. Like they're really expensive and they're not great for you. And you know, they're easily things that could be cut out. So obviously each to their own if you want to include those. But I think you'll find that if you cut those out, you can reduce your spend by quite a lot each week. So just something to bear in mind, that you could maybe swap for a cheaper alternative or cut some of those out. So yeah, a bit of a controversial one, but buying less of the junk will definitely reduce your shop. Number 4 is to plan in a treat meal. So if you know that you are going to get to a Saturday night and you're going to think, I really can't be bothered to cook, and you're going to end up getting a takeaway and spending 50 quid on a Domino's or a Chinese or whatever, plan it into your weekly meal plan and your weekly shop. You could do the meal deals at the supermarket for like £12. If you want a couple of pizzas and a side and a bottle of fizzy drink, you can do that for like £10, £12 at the supermarket. If you wanted a date night dinner, you can do the meal deals where you get like the steak and the dauphinoise potatoes. We do those quite often. If you've seen my meal plans, you can get a steak, a side, a pudding for £12, £10. The takeaway bags are really good. They're like £8.50 for a couple of curries and rice and naan. So, and you just literally stick them in the microwave or the oven. So they're minimal effort. They are a treat. You wouldn't have to cook as such. And it saves you a lot of money. So I would always say plan those in. Equally, you know, I do, the boys have school dinners, so I don't pack them up at the moment. I often do in the summer. But in the winter, Henry gets free school meals because he's an infant, and Archie likes a hot meal at lunch, so I pay for his school dinners. But I will eat, you know, at home and have, you know, cheap things like salads, soups, jacket potatoes, things like that. I do Yanis food to take to work, so he'll either have leftovers or I'll batch cook. I'll try and leave some videos linked down below. I've done a batch cook of like Thai beef, soy and honey chicken. I use some leftover chicken sometimes to make him a Greek lemon soup. He takes lunch to work most days. Equally with coffee, you know, get yourself one of the takeaway cups, make a tea or coffee at home or a hot chocolate, take it out with you rather than spending £4 or £5. There's a real culture now of everywhere you go to Costa or Starbucks or whatever and get a takeaway coffee. And I personally, I love my Yorkshire tea, never a fan when I go anywhere else and it's like PG Tips or anything else. Doesn't, you know, I don't enjoy it as much anyway. So take your lunch with you, take your drinks with you, plan your treat meals in to limit takeaways and things. You'll be surprised if you look how much you actually spend in a month if you buy the odd lunch out and a coffee every day. You know, it mounts up to going into hundreds. So yeah, a bit of forward planning and use up those leftovers and take things with you will save you a lot of money. The final one is to keep a running total throughout the month. So set your budget. If you spend £150 in 1 week, because you might need all your toiletries, you might need toilet rolls, dishwasher tablets, you might have one of those weeks where you've run out of everything, you know, you need the oil, the ketchup, the tea bags, you know, we all have those weeks. That's fine, but if you've got a monthly budget, keep a running total, and that's less money that you've got then to spend going forward, and stick to it, because it's really easy to think, oh, you know, £100 a week, oh, I've spent 120 this week, oh, I've spent 130 this week. I've done it plenty of times, and then by the end of the month you've gone over 100, £150. If you stick to it, so it might be that on the last week of the month you need to eat up everything you've got left over in your cupboards and your fridge and your freezer, those things that are lurking there. If you watch my recent video, you know I've got white fish fillets in there and they are going to be used. I'm going to have to come up with something, but use up what you've got. So it might be you've got loads of leftover veggies, chuck them on a tray bake, chuck a pack of sausages on there, and you know you've got yourself a tasty meal. If you've got some chopped tomatoes and some herbs and whatever, whiz up a pasta sauce, cook a cheap bag of pasta, grate some cheese over, and you've got yourself a dinner. Nobody's going to die if you just have a cheap kind of use up what you've got dinner for, you know, a couple of nights in the last week of the month. But it's really easy just to think, oh, we haven't got any food in, and go and spend, you know, overspend on your budget. So it really depends, obviously, how strict you need to be as to how tight you're going to stick to that budget. But I'm going to be trying really, really hard not to go over our budget. So in my Meals of the Week video, I will be sharing some kind of use up what we've got, some batch cooking, some meat-free meals. I really hope those tips have been useful for you. Like I say, if you haven't already subscribed, don't forget to hit the button and the notification bell. I upload at least twice a week and it's always foodie content, saving money where you can. Obviously you can, I'll be sharing some make your own snack ideas, some budget friendly lunches. I've already done a breakfast video, so check out my playlist. There's loads of content there for you to check out and kind of check out some budget friendly grocery shops and meal ideas. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to leave in the comments if you've got any other tips and tricks that you'd like to share with everybody. It's really nice that you all comment, and it's quite a nice community to just share ideas. So feel free to chat in the comments, share your ideas as well, and let me know if there's anything else you would like me to share with you. I'm always up for suggestions. So if you've got any ideas or things you would like me to share, please leave them in the comments below. And I will see you really soon in another video. Take care, everyone. Bye.